What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while because I have been gone. It feels so weird to be down here in the basement and working on projects again. But almost, I don't know, most of June I was gone. We were at Horizon RC Fest, Axial Fest, and then I went to the Monster Jam World Finals. I have videos coming for all of those things. I'm working on the Axial Fest video right now. But we also decided to do a Carnival comp like we did at Axial Fest and Horizon RC Fest, but we did it at Reaction RC just to change things up. I wanted to give away, support the local community. So we gave away a bunch of parts and things like that for it. And that's what we're gonna be watching, is that video for that. But I also wanted to show you the truck that I built up right before it, as if I wasn't super busy. This is my Mazz Designs cheat code chassis, and it's been a long time coming. I'll tell you what, we're gonna take a quick look at this, and then we're gonna watch some of the footage from the Carnival comp at Reaction. It was super fun, you guys. Had a blast. People were going fast. We were getting fast times, and it's crazy. But this thing is a beast. It's a heavy truck. I want to show you it, talk about it, because I decided to run it for my first time just to throw myself off. Since I was setting gates, I needed to be driving a truck I wasn't comfortable with. So anyway, let's take a look at it. You can see my world right now. Everything just kind of thrown back in here. Boxes of stuff everywhere. But look at this. 552 grams. That's the weight on this guy. I just wanted to show you that before we got into looking at the truck itself. So it's pretty heavy. I don't know. I mean, here's like a stock truck, I guess. We could see what that is for comparison. So about 200 grams. So quite a bit heavier. And this one's got a lot of goodies inside of it. We'll talk about that. Okay, here it is. We got a little bit better light on it, a little bit cleaner space, too messy in there to really show you guys. So we decided to go with the Proline cliffhanger body because Dana was running one of these bodies and it was doing super good and everything. And so I've had this body for a long time, painted up, ready to go. And I had to trim the snot out of it in order to get to fit these tires on here. Now, these aren't any bigger than what in fact, these came right off of my green truck that I normally run, which is my Creep. But the way that the Mazz chassis sits so low and then the body's slammed on here, it rubs everything. Now, granted, I did have to really chop up the fenders on the Creep, but the body itself feels taller, and so it doesn't kind of have this same big, huge tire look to it, in my opinion. But these tires look absolutely massive on here, even though they aren't a very huge tire compared to what a lot of people run these days. So these are the Scramblers. They are my favorite tire that are on the market, and they're running the Pine Tree inserts, which I've had to print up a whole bunch of these since getting back. So yeah, need to clean this one up some. But this is what's inside of here, and it allows it to really have, well, the squish that you're seeing from the rear right there, just in resting position. So it's like an aired down tire that just wraps around everything, especially with the weight of this truck. So I really made these for the weight of my other truck, but it really performed great. So, but they were designed to fit within these tires. They are not contoured, and I did that intentionally because I wanted a flat top so we'd get air gap, but I wanted the rigidity at the side here, so we didn't round them over. I wanted that, and then we also left it without contouring in here as well, because these tires in particular, my favorite tire on the market, the RC4L Drive Scramblers, are so thin that in a lot of bead locks it does not lock it in place. And so I left this so that it would stick out and it would kind of force that bead to wrap in and around this. And so it does not spin when you hold this and try and spin it on the wheel. And I have other ones, or even the stock foams, and you can spin the tire on the bead and the wheel stays in place. And it's really obnoxious when you're putting power down and you're stuck in rocks or whatever, and your wheel's spinning, but your tire's not gripping anything. So those are kind of some of the thoughts behind it. We kept it simple. They're also super small trucks, and I think some stuff is, you know, it looks good, whatever, but doesn't really help perform better. And I think that about all of the truck in general, not just the wheels and tires and all that. You know, I don't know. There's There's certain things that definitely you see the improvement of, and other things that are just, I think, you know, for look, and that's not a bad thing. So he uses magnets. This one, the glue came out of, and so it's not actually in there. And I actually did it wrong. This, I think, was supposed to be a raised rear one, or there's only supposed to be one in the rear or one in the front. I don't know, but I put both on, and I just bought more magnets on Amazon. So this is the layout that I have set up for this particular truck. I forgot to take a Velcro strap to put on here for the cop, and I ended up buying these racing bungee cords, and it actually works really great. So we're just gonna leave it like that. It's running FureTech electronics, so we have a Lizard Pro ESC on here, which you know, I like what they're doing with some of the other stuff in the cases, but if you had one with a case in here, it wouldn't fit very well. You'd have to stand it sideways or something. There was something nice about the small footprint of these. If you don't need it to be waterproof and you don't need the case, these things just fit in everywhere. Like, they're so tiny. Throw some double-sided tape on, make them disappear. So that's what I still like about the Lizard Pro. I don't need the 5 amp BEC on this particular build because I've never had it really bogged down with servo power and, you know, the motor running and all that. So I'm not like overdrawing it. So it's perfect still. So you know, buy based on what you really need, guys. What I still like about these is how small they are. I can tuck them in, leave the on button on, so as soon as I plug in the battery here, it'll power up underneath the truck, as you can hear here. I love that. So definitely something that makes me still lean toward this ESC for a lot of applications. So just found some, I think these are Power Hobby shocks. Oh, these are Trial shocks here. They're just 48 millimeters. I took the springs off them. You get a little bit of articulation, nothing crazy. But again, once you're up and you're side hilling, you don't want it to drop too much. And at this, the way that everything is set, it's really not unloading when I'm side hilling, which is great. It stays nice and tucked for the most part, because all of the way the weight is set on this, I'm not really feeling like it's wanting to unload on me. So that's been great. You could get it to unload, like pop this way going up a hill still because of that. So limiting straps would be good. Haven't had that issue yet in the running that I've done with it. I was blown away at how well this thing handled the mini Komodo. I normally use the full size, or I use the micro, and this mini Komodo has some decent speed, I'll tell you what. So that was good for what we were doing with this competition, because it was, you know, speed based. You want to get through quick. So I'm running their Avatar radio system with it, just my older one still. I had it connected to the 4-steer one earlier, but my son grabbed the wrong one when we went on a trip this past week, and we wanted to take it and run it. He loves it. He loves how slow this can go. He was on like a board, and he wanted to see how slow he could go from the start of the board to the end of it, just sideways, you know, like a 1x6, just going across the 6 inches. And, you know, it was like 2 minutes or something, just slow creeping, keeping it moving the whole time, something like that. Anyway, so that's the receiver here. It's for that, just double-sided tape. It's not on here super great. I always run their transmissions, just makes everything easier. So FureTech transmission motor combo, and yeah, super easy drop in that way when you buy it with it already attached. That's my go-to. That's all I sell in the store for the most part, is with the motor attached to a transmission. And I just think it makes it easy. You don't have to worry about the pinions, all that kind of stuff, having all that extra parts you need. It's all there. Drop it in. Works great. Going around the truck, we're running the Baby Hippo, the axles that I sell. I put a black diff cover on the back here. I just wanted to kind of pop a little bit. Didn't matter for the front because it's kind of blocked anyway by your the steering. So this is a brass steering link. We're running the brass servo mount up front as well. So these are all available on my store, CCxRC. These are all branded ones. You can see that the servo sits up at a little angle on here. You can see the little gap. I just set it right up on top of the links in there. I've been doing that since we started first putting bigger servos in the SCX24, and I've really never had an issue. My trucks perform, I think, pretty good. And yeah, this chassis itself, let's talk about it. You get all kinds of clearance, don't hit your servos. I love how it just drops everything low. Everything just sits. His little side skids and all that, super nice. The one thing I did learn is you have to put things together in the right order, because once these are on, you can't drop this center plate out. And so I built it all without the transmission. I just built the frame and that, and then I realized I had to take it all back apart in order to reassemble it with the transmission and all that in. So a little bit of a bummer. I think I had to do the links was the thing or something. Yeah, to get your links in and all that, you had to do it first. But yeah, so I'm running the Furatech brass links. These are high clearance ones. They're super, super heavy. And then I have a mix of the drive shafts that I sell, the steel ones. So in the rear, we're running the deadbolt ones, and in the front, we're running the C10 ones. So a little bit pricey to do this type of a scenario because of having to buy 2 sets. But if you can get them somewhere where you can buy one of each, if people sell them separated, that'd be the way to do it. Or run stock. I normally would just run stock ones, plastic drive shafts, but I didn't have any for this build. I used all just spare parts that I had laying around. Like I had the links sitting around, the axles. Well, I have the axles, and I just took inner parts that I've taken out of other ones, put them in. It's running overdrive, 23% in the front. And I took these wheels and tires, these are Trio wheels, right off of the other green one, like I said. So I don't really have a wheel set made for this yet, and I will be. But I just kind of stole these ones for using on this. But you'll see it perform, it does really good. Driver error on a couple easy gates I did hit, so my bad. But we'll show you it running here at the house, and we'll show you some footage from the Carnival comp. This video kind of about the Carnival comp, but mainly about what I took there, which is this truck. And so we want to show it performing, show how well this Mazz design setup really does work. You can see how just cool it all sits in here, nice and tucked. Love it. All right, let's run it. All right, one thing I did not mention is up front, I do have the Mighty Chihuahua servo handles. Super fast, so much power. Those are currently out of stock. I'm not sure when I'll be able to order more of them, but they are very nice. There's a slow crawl. You'll be able to watch the tires flexing too with these inserts in here. The one thing that I did have is, and why I want to show footage of this, is during the competition, I didn't think to change the motor setting to a mini Komodo, and so it was actually driving really weird as far as the throttle control for me, and that's because it was not set up for that specific motor. You can see the tires just wrapping. And also we were going for speed, and this is more how I normally would crawl. Let's see it unloading back a little bit there. Coming up that hill. But not bad. You can also see the front tires really pulling. I think that's actually the higher percentage. I think that's the 13 or the 12T. The tire flex. So one of the things that we do want to test and see is some of the side healing because of the longer shocks and no shock springs, but lots of control. You can feel it pushing down a little bit. That's where the weight can be a detriment, is it will slide some, especially coming down. If that had been slipperier, let's try and come up this and cut across the side here and see what happens. That, oh, that's cool actually. Look at that twist. You might not be able to see it super well on camera. Lots of twist there. That's pretty sideways. And it's not really unloading. Now my biggest problem here would be weight and sliding. You can see it kind of sliding a little bit. In there. That's the little bit of unloading. We got a front tire up in the air, but not too bad. Out there it went. We lost it. I think that'd have been doable. But I was coming up to try and get the shot. It's getting pretty steep there. Let's try and hit that line again here. I was trying to turn uphill, which is pretty tough. One of the things that definitely helps is the sidewalls don't cave too much with these inserts in, especially under the heavy weight of this truck. So what we're definitely not getting is the shocks unloading, which is good. That tire's lifting. That back end's coming down. Give me side heel across. Gonna get a little steeper here. There we go. Now we're leveling out a little bit. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's quite a little bit of an angle there. Come through here. We'll see a little bit of. Try and get a little flex going for you. Again, this thing isn't super flexy. Wasn't built to be, because they just tend to unload too much when they're too flexy. See there, I think that was a weight thing, even though we had some grip. And I just kind of missed the angle. So yeah, that's not dropping out too bad. We'll float that tire for a second, it'll drop. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know when I was building this, you know, sometimes you're kind of building blind. You know that you're putting some good parts in on their own, but how's it all going to work? And this thing just kind of creeps and crawls over everything. Well, that rock's in a bad spot. We're going to push it down, force our way over. Nice. Oh, we got some of our winch sticks in the way. Let's reset this and we'll go across these. See if we bottom out too bad. Oh, we hung that up pretty good. I missed it. Usually I try and get my tire right on that knot like that. Yep. And I got under to the right. Normally you can kind of hook. Climb this it maybe. So let's just back it up and we'll go up it now. There's just so many different approaches to things on this course. I still really enjoy it. Oh, it's pushing me. I'm not on it. Can we get on it still? No, we are done for on that approach. Driver was not paying attention. There we go. Now we're lined up. Not the easiest bridge to get on. Try and use that overdrive up front. Little burps. So it didn't unload from the back end too bad either. I'm going to avoid those. Those tend to break stuff. Again, kind of side hilling through here. Not really unloading the body, which is good. Let's take the steep side. The side's real steep and it's hooked right there. You can see the tire's hooked. So we got to get just even steeper into this right. See that? Really unloaded the front. Yeah, so we had to cheat around. Every truck has had to. But you can see that front end lifting. That Carolina lean. But usually not too big of an issue going down or uphill like that. Downhill, let's see how bad the back end lifts when we come down this. Not bad, just keeping the tires on the ground. It's just very planted with that weight down low. So much of that weight is unsprung, and there's actually no springs anyway, so, but it's below the shock. Let's see. Let's make this even trickier. Yeah, it's just gonna slide. That's weight. Ooh. Oh, painful. Painful hit. It's a good shot right there of it. We use that for our thumbnail. Ka-chow picture. Turn this uphill, or are we gonna unload and die? Ooh. Struggle. More power. It wants it though. Hard turn uphill. Need some traction. There was. Anyway, guys, very impressed with this setup on this. You know, just kind of threw some of the parts that I usually throw at things on here, and with this chassis, it's so awesome. But yeah, don't know what to tell you. Definitely check out his chassis. Very good quality. It was so hard to get my hands on one of these. Hey, look at that. Magnet stayed in there. And then Owen Rogers came through for me and hooked me up. So many thanks to him. And it took me a while to build it, bud. Sorry. But we're together now and we're rocking. And it's awesome. There it is. All right, let's check out some of the footage from the comp, and we'll let you go, guys. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Have fun RCing. We'll catch you next time. Oh, that was close. Those lights are menacing. I love them. Okay. Saying I didn't make them nice. Okay. Ooh, you're close. Not hitting it yet.
Give me a winch back.
Let it out.
Perfect.
Oh. That's what I want to do. Scale perspective. There you go.
These are freaking monsters like this.
I know you want to go slow, so you're like, you gotta go fast. I know, I'm not used to moving it like that either.
I guess my 5 minute was pretty slow.
This thing just needs to. Oh, good. Can I make it?
Ah, sparkly.
Bro. Yeah. This right is.
Doing good. Watch those gates. Oh, I don't have a... Everybody's hitting gates, so keep going. You're good. Keep it straight. There you go. A monster truck.
Class 2.
Whoa. That was cool.
What'd you do? What was your fast time over there, Travis? 122.
We're just ultra lightweight build. Clever Pro Line tire setup.
That was just me being dumb.
The need for speed, right?
Right?
Whoa!
127.
127, I hit
Dang.
the gate, so.
Still fast. Gosh, that's handling so good. Whoa, what happened to the rock there? Yeah, it's really hard to finesse it at all. Oh well. We'll deal.
Oh,
Not the truck's fault. I'll say I don't hate this truck at all.
right?
I know. So it was scary choosing to drive it.
You got
That
tried.
was the rock. That was the rock. Yeah.
99.9%.
Well, I got that one gate hammered it over there.
You know, right? Even I missed it. And then, you know what that means.
Oh, hammered that one. Hammered the last one.